Did you know at Kroger, shopping online with pickup and delivery is the same as shopping in-store? Same low prices, same personalized deals, same rewards, with no hidden fees or markups on your same family favorites, like Honeycrisp apples and pasta sauce. The only difference is you don't have to put on shoes. Start your cart today at Kroger.com. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Introducing Allbirds new Wool Runner 2, redesigned to redefine comfort. Extra cushioning offers a plush ride, and premium materials deliver a cozy fit. Go to allbirds.com and use code FRESH24 for a free pair of socks with purchase today.
Tired of ads barging into your favorite news podcasts? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free news podcasts to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads. Enjoy thousands of Acast shows ad-free for Prime subscribers. Some shows may have ads.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to EPL Index's Transfer Daily. So, Monday, happy Monday to everyone. There is a lot going on within the Premier League and in the wider world of football, with the transfer window still open and about halfway through in January, aren't we? So, many stories. Let's go through the headlines that are racking up at the moment. So only one place to start, really, because quite a few papers, broadsheets, etc. have run with the big story from a transfer news, and we'll get on to FFP stuff shortly, but the transfer news that Jordan Henderson, and it's Dominic King in the Mail, so coming with the exclusive here, has been told by Al Ettifaq, you are going nowhere. So it was a lot of stories, wasn't there? The Ajax were interested. And in fact, the Ajax manager had some quotes attributed to him in ESPN, didn't he? That they were speaking, they were trying to get it done. Juventus was strongly linked with the former Liverpool captain as well. However, that's the big exclusive really from Dominic King, that Jordan Henderson will not be allowed to leave Al Ettifaq in this window. Other big news is quite a few stories around still Stuttgart striker, and I've probably pronounced this wrong, but Serhou Guirassay. So the key thing to remember with him is he does have that transfer clause, doesn't he? That he can leave Stuttgart to another European club for the rumoured clause is 17.5 million euros, which translates at roughly £15 million or around that mark, which in football fees, in the world it's massive, but in football fees is pretty minimal. So quite a lot of clubs are being linked with a move to him. However, as people are also mentioning, there's the AFCON, there's the injury concern that he has as well. So it's almost a now or never. So we'll probably find out in the next few days, realistically, with that. Quite a few overseas papers, so Telefoot and AS, so France and Spain there, leading that there's a number of clubs interested in Lille centre-half, the youngster Lenny Yoro. So he's been tearing up trees, giant centre-half, aerially dominant there, hasn't he, for Lille? Only a short time left on his contract at the same time as well. So across those papers, the clubs linked with him are Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, and from the Premier League, Liverpool. So those are ones to keep an eye on. The Telegraph yesterday led with the story that Brighton have completed that move for Argentinian youngster, former Boca Juniors player Valentin Barco. A lot suggested in the report that naturally he might be set to go on loan, interestingly, as well. I don't know if that's back to Boca or where exactly, but the Telegraph has confirmed, according to their exclusive, that deal is done for around £8 million. Also, United, there's a lot of chat around them. The Mail and quite a few others have gone with Hannibal, the young midfielder. He's the next one out, isn't he? He's close to joining Sevilla on loan with an option, and apparently, as the Mail have gone, an option to buy for €17.5 million. So the clear out has started at United. It's well and truly in swing. And on top of that, quite a few articles are going with Anthony Martial, because naturally his contract's running out. But the key clubs that come up in all these articles, West Ham, Inter Milan, and Fenerbahce. So those are ones to keep an eye on. A few to mention as well, that Sporting Lisbon defender, Ousmane Diomande, Newcastle, Arsenal and Chelsea. Now, those are the clubs linked with him so far. Liverpool have been linked earlier in the window as well, and it's important to say Record, the Portuguese paper, have Arsenal and Chelsea this morning. They also had Newcastle the other day, that's important to say, so it could be agent games, but very much this seems a youngster that's being touted around, so that's one to keep an eye on. From Saudi Arabia, Marca have reported that Karim Benzema has not turned up, I should say, at Al Ittihad's training camp. So that's one to keep an eye on what might happen with him this window. And also that Redan Lodi from Marseille is set to be a loan to Saudi, but with a mandatory buy obligation of around £20 million, which will come into force in the summer. So a short-term loan, which is a mandatory buy option there as well. Quite a few others coming up. I mean, we'll come to the big news of the day as well, which will be on the cycle. I'm sure you'll all see it. It does relate to transfers and FFP. So it was the Ornstein bomb yesterday, wasn't it? And it's dominating this morning that Everton and Nottingham Forest are set to be told that they have breached the PSR, haven't they? The Profits Sustainability Rules. The regulations there, the rolling 3-year cycle up to June 2023. And quite a few are leading with that now, aren't they? Now, interestingly, to add a couple of layers to this, Ornstein mentioned in his articles that obviously they'll dispute it, they'll fight it, so that'll be the case. Paul Joyce mentions late last night that naturally the Premier League, because of the scrutiny around an independent regulator and what's happening, will look to make these punishments swift, if there will be any, and move quickly. That is the Premier League's aim, so that's an interesting one. And also, there was a few rumours, naturally transfer-wise, linked to that with Everton around trying to get Hannibal. And there's from Nottingham Forest, there's quite a few linking them with Michy Batshuayi. I know it feels a bit like Football Manager 2018, so what? But it's hard to see any transfers for those happening. And FFP is important to reference in this window. We mentioned it before. Unai Emery's talked about it, Eddie Howe, that naturally with what's happening, clubs are going to be very reluctant to push the boundaries they may have done with Premier League rules previously, and we'll say no more about that. Other ones to keep an eye on. It's important to note that Liverpool, via the Mirror, their backup keeper, Kelleher, has been linked with a move, and that they've identified Anthony Patterson, who's the former England under-21 international now at Sunderland, as his replacement. Other ones that United, another clear out that Southampton are targeting Diallo on loan. So another one that could be leaving United, as well as Bournemouth David Brooks. So that's in Give Me Sport and a few others, it's fair to say. So yeah, we're at the halfway point, ladies and gents. There's quite a lot going on, so to speak, and the Arsenal striker links is also important to mention, quite a few. Borja Mayoral, the Spanish international, he's also being linked with Arsenal, so he had a few comments on that to seek and find there realistically. But there is a lot going on at the moment, and it's very, very busy, shall we say, in terms of rumours. But what will dominate the cycle, no doubts about it at all, is realistically the FFP, the PSR, however you wish to define it. So there'll be a lot of articles around that. There'll also be journalists talking about other things as well. So other sort of headlines that have a transfer link. There's quite a few articles around Pochettino and how he's looking for a striker, but again, with PSR, FFP, he's set to be thwarted. Mikel Arteta seems to be in the same boat. The earlier lines or the earlier stories around Ivan Toney seem to have really died down now, don't they? And obviously we're expecting Ivan Toney back anytime soon. So a few papers are commenting around that. And also a few others to mention that, again, it's linked to United. It is worth mentioning because a lot are coming into the summer fruition that very much in Ineos now they've got the feet in under the table, are clearing out people. So with Van der Beek, Sancho, Hannibal, there are probably others set to to go on it, even if it's temporary, just to clear the books and look at options or moves in the future, that João Neves comes up on quite a few different media outlets as a long-term seeking for them. Scalvini, the Italian international, the Atalanta central defender, he's also mentioned in a few outlets as well. So there'll be quite a lot of talk around Manchester United's long-term aspirations. And naturally, as a few reports, it's important to say, despite what Erik ten Hag mentioned quite a few weeks ago, there are no new negotiations with Rafael Varane. Quite a few have got that sort of mixed within their articles. And quite a few have got Anthony Martial, as well as we mentioned before, departing. That despite what Erik ten Hag said, there are currently no new contract negotiations. And if that doesn't come to any fruition, they will leave on freeze at the end of the summer. Only other ones it's really important to mention, and again, it's a few lines and things here and there. Calvin Phillips is quoted as, not the headlines, I want to say that in a few articles, but mentioned that he's still looking and his agent are to engineer a move out of Manchester City, but no one's saying that's close. And a few articles are mentioned, or it's embedded in there, that the Juventus talk as well and truly died down, especially now they've bought Diallo from France as well. So it's hard to see where Calvin Phillips ends up. And that's probably a good place to leave it, isn't it? It's not a good time as it stands right now for those looking to make England's Euro squad, is it? Jordan Henderson's trying to get a move. Calvin Phillips is trying to get a move. We will have to wait till the end of the window to see what happens with them. But yeah, it'll dominate it, or it will be dominated by FFP, PSR, Manchester City will be brought into the mix. If that was your Transfer Daily headlines for Monday, enjoy your day, folks.
Sports Social Podcast Network.